Greetings, fellow gamers. This is the gamer guy in a suit from the Echo Army YouTube channel. Today, I am bringing you, number 7 out of 30, and our 30 and 30, and it's going to be a review of the indie roguelike Ancient Domains of Mystery, ADOM for short. Ancient Domains of Mystery was released on November 16th, 2015 on Steam by Thomas Biskup, who developed and produced it along with a team of other people who I am going to do the service of not butchering their names right now. I am horrible with names as it is. I'm very sorry, but they are a very, very talented group of individuals and have made a fine game here. So let's get straight to it. First things first, this has been a very difficult game for me to review, as this game has an extremely steep learning curve and absolute sky-high difficulty. It is a roguelike in every sense in the word. It is a very solid game, do not get me wrong. However, some things that are really kind of in the way of picking up the game quickly happen to be these controls that still seem to be stuck in 1994, which was when this game was starting to be developed. The controls are all over the keyboard, and yes, once you start getting the hang of it, they do make sense, but one major drawback to this control scheme is the use of the number pad, the 10-key number pad, to do the movement, which, as you may know, if you have a laptop, this may pose a problem for you with moving around, as you do not have that 10 key there. So do be aware of that and keep, an eye on the forums and the discussion boards and see where that's headed before you dive right in. However, if you can get used to these controls and give yourself the time and the patience, what you'll find here is an awesome little roguelike that, while not heavy on the graphics or sound, is extremely heavy on replayability, solid actual RPG elements, and a great story, especially for a roguelike. There are some really fully fleshed out towns in this game with NPCs, and there are, all kinds of dungeons spread out in these little caves, and it's randomly generated. It's different every time you go in, except for that first cave at the beginning. But even then, I've had some different things happen there, as you could see from some of the gameplay. I've been in multiple different caves, even though I would only been in that one cave to start with. But it's a lot of fun, and it's solid on the RPG elements. One of my favorite parts of this game is the character creation. I mean, you can get absolutely lost in the character creation itself. It is very, very rich and deep. There are a lot of different races to choose from, and then after you choose your race, there are a lot of different classes to choose from, and some of these you may be kind of guided along your way with your choice because you're born under whatever, quote-unquote sign you're born under, and that kind of gives you a little boost in certain areas here or there. So that might help you choose what you may want to do with this particular character. You can also randomize all these things and let fate decide what your character's traits and attributes are going to be. You have a lot of options at your disposal. It is a very highly customizable roguelike, especially in terms of character creation. Another one of my favorite parts of the character creation is when you get towards the end, when you're finding out sort of like your personality and whatnot. You can either randomize it or, do the fate thing, or you can answer a series of questions, which is almost like a choose your own adventure or whatever. You just answer a series of questions, how you would handle certain situations and what you would do, and that sort of helps shape your character a little as well. Because, in this game, you can be lawfully good or you can be evil, it all depends on how you want to take your character and what direction you want to go with him. So, while this is not a game for everybody, this is certainly a solid roguelike. If you are a fan of the genre already, or are willing to take the time to learn this game, all the ins and outs, you will be deeply rewarded. I compare it to like a Paradox game or like an actual Wargaming, tabletop, and where if you put the time and effort into learning it, it'll be very rewarding and satisfying. All things considered, I would say it's a good 3 out of 5. Give it a try. This has been the Gamer Guy in a Suit from the Echo Army YouTube channel. Thanks for joining us. Hit the subscribe and thumbs up if you get a chance. And we'll see you next time. Happy gaming.